This is Retro Sports Radio. Visit RetroSeasons.com for more sports history.
The Baltimore Orioles faced the Detroit Tigers at Tiger Stadium for a Tuesday night game on September 20th, 1983. The Orioles were in first place in the AL East with a 7.5-game lead over the Tigers. They were managed by Joe Altobelli in his first year as manager. He had taken over the club after the retirement of Earl Weaver in 1982. The Tigers were in a pennant race for the first time in a decade, thanks to a core of young talent combined with the experience of manager Sparky Anderson. They entered this game 20 games over 500 and were looking to make a move on the Orioles in the final 2 weeks of the season. This audio recording is from the Detroit radio broadcast featuring announcers Ernie Harwell and Paul Carey.
And the Orioles have just come on extremely strong in the last month to take control of the Eastern Division race. The Tigers are down 8 games in the loss column and 7.5 back in that games behind column. But the Tigers have 7 games to play with the Orioles, including this twilight doubleheader. So they can make a pretty big statement themselves in this doubleheader and in this 4-game series here at Tiger Stadium. We expect a big crowd. I'm sure the weather has deterred a few at the moment from showing up at least early. But it looks like we might be able to get this game underway fairly close to the starting time. Dan Petry, the Tiger starter in Game 1, is down, beginning to loosen up. And so far, the Baltimore pitcher has not started to warm up. It's going to be Dennis Martinez in Game number 1. And the Tigers will see Bill Swaggerty, a rookie right-hander, go in the second game. The Tigers had expected to see Storm Davis, but in fact, he didn't even make the trip here to Detroit with them. He has had some shoulder problems and some pitching problems of late. And so Swaggerty, another one of those great finds out of the Orioles system, is going to be pitching the second game of this doubleheader against Glenn Abbott. Well, the grounds crew right now is folded up the tarp, preparatory to getting it on the roller and getting it off. I'm surprised that the rain stopped as suddenly as it has. We had quite a storm roll in here about 5 minutes before 5, and it cut short the latter part of the Orioles pregame practice. They were just about through anyway, and it continued a steady rain up until just moments ago after we had taken the air with the broadcast here. But now it has stopped. The umpires are looking out at the scene, and they're coming out of the Tiger dugout. They'll be coming out shortly, at least to check on the condition of the field. And the diamond, which it took a little longer to cover simply because the Orioles were still having practice, had to get the cage out of the way. And the green netting that is used for batting practice is still on the grass right in front of home plate. Well, I'll be back with the starting lineups for Game 1 of this twilight doubleheader after these words.
Bank of Commerce. In times like these, got to get your money growing. In times like these, can't afford to draw a blank. In times like these, money's got to make it showing. In times like these, you need a strong bank. Bank of Commerce.
If you're in the market for a car, a boat, or a camper, or about to make a major improvement on your home, here's some news from Bank of Commerce. Now you can get a pre-approved loan, a loan that's approved in advance, so you make your purchase like a cash buyer. Just stop in at Bank of Commerce before you buy. It's not hard to qualify. You don't even have to be a regular customer. Ask about pre-approved loans at Bank of Commerce. Member FDIC. Offices in Hamtramck, Warren, Centerline, and Avon and Shelby Townships.
In times like these, you need a strong bank. Bank of Commerce.
Win a trip to the World Series. Enter at Bank of Commerce or State Bank of Fraser. No purchase necessary.
Today, thousands of people will shop at Highland Appliance. But who and why? Let's find out. Sir, your name and what do you do?
Simon Lipke, I'm a fault finder.
You're a fault finder.
Yeah, let me start right off by saying that your shirt and your pants don't match and your one ear is bigger than the other.
Well, Mr. Lipke, tell us, why did you come to Highland today?
I'm finding fault with Highland salesmen.
Fault? What fault?
What do you mean, what fault? What fault? You got a salesman here named Bob Franklin?
Yeah, he's one of the best salesmen you'll ever find.
Yeah, did you ever see him bowl?
Bowl? Who cares whether or not he can bowl?
The guy's in his bowling team, that's who.
Look, Mr. Lipke, as long long as they're knowledgeable experts at helping people choose the right appliances, that's all that matters.
Oh, and when they throw a gutter ball, we're all just supposed to cover our eyes and pretend we didn't see it, huh?
The important thing is that they be good salesmen, and Highland salesmen are, because they have over 100 hours of special classroom training.
Okay, but I'm still not finished with you yet.
Me?
Yeah, you always had that overbite.
Overbite?
And your hair, change it.
What are you talking
And quit mumbling.
Who's
You are mumbling.
Highland,
We're mumbling.
everything you never expected from an appliance store.
You're mumbling. You are mumbling, sir.
Well, the rain is still holding off, and the grounds crew is going about its work, pulling off the separate pieces of tarp that cover the plate and the mound, and we'll get the lining of the home plate area here pretty soon. Got a little damp there, as I said, before they were able to get the tarp on the field because it really moved in quickly. The rain did, but now it has ceased, and it looks like we're going to get this one underway. Let's pause here for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network. And this is WJR Detroit, the flagship station for Tiger Baseball. WJR offers complete sports coverage at 76 AM. Now let's look at the lineups for Game 1 of this Twilighter. Against Dan Petry in the opener, Dan has won 17 and lost 9. Well, he had won 4 in a row before dropping his last start. Leading off and playing in center field will be Al Bumbry. Batting second, right fielder Dan Ford. Ford in right. Batting third and at shortstop, Cal Ripken. Ripken at short. Batting fourth at first base, Eddie Murray. Murray playing first base. Batting fifth, the left fielder, John Lowenstein. Lowenstein in left. Batting sixth, the DH for Baltimore, Ken Singleton. Singleton as the DH and batting sixth. Hitting in the seventh position will be the catcher, Joe Nolan. Nolan catching and batting seventh. Batting eighth, at third base, Glenn Gulliver. Ex-Tiger farmhand Glenn Gulliver at third base and batting eighth. And batting ninth, at second base, Rich Dower. Dower at second. So from the top again for the Orioles in Game 1. It'll be Bumbry leading off the center fielder, followed by right fielder Ford, the shortstop Ripken, first baseman Murray, the left fielder Lowenstein, the DH Singleton, the catcher Nolan, third baseman Gulliver, and second baseman Dower. For the Tigers in the opener against Dennis Martinez, the veteran right-hander who has a record of 7 wins and 14 defeats. Leading off and playing second base will be Lou Whitaker. Batting second at shortstop, Alan Trammell. Batting third will be left fielder, Larry Herndon. Batting fourth and catching in the opener, Lance Parrish. Batting fifth, the DH for Detroit, Kirk Gibson. Gibson DHing. Batting sixth at first base, Enos Cabell. Hitting seventh and in center field will be Chet Lemon. Batting eighth, right fielder, Glenn Wilson. And batting ninth, third baseman, Wayne Krenchicki. Krenchicki playing third. Now the Tiger lineup looks pretty much the same as the one that the Tigers have been putting on the field against right-handers lately, with one exception, Wilson getting the start in right field instead of Rick Leach. It's Whitaker leading off at second, with Trammell at short, Herndon in left, Parrish catching, Gibson the DH, Cabell at first, Lemon in center, Wilson in right, and Krenchicki at third. Lance Parrish reported to the ballpark today under the weather. He's got some influenza. But Sparky has to have him in this ball game somehow or another, and he's got him in as the catcher in the opening game. And we'll see how Lance can last here tonight against the Orioles in this twilighter. Now we got the lining of the batting boxes at home plate right now. And they put some of the magic dust, the absorbent sand out around the mound area. It had gotten just a little bit moist out there before they got the tarp on the field. Right now the grounds crew has the tarp rolled over beyond the foul line, but not up against the wall as yet. They're still kind of holding at the moment. It's very dark here. The lights have been on now for some time, and it had been expected, there's no question of that, that weather people had been giving dire forecasts for a couple of days about the weather on this date when the Tigers and Orioles were going to get together for this big twilight doubleheader. And, in fact, it was going to come in earlier in the day, and hoped, in fact, it would come in last night and move on through earlier. But, it kind of held off and hit the stadium just before 5 o'clock. But right now, we've got a little hole in the weather, and maybe it'll be large enough so the Tigers can get a couple of ball games in here against Baltimore. Very big games, no question of that. I know the odds aren't all that good, down 7.5 games, 8 games in the loss column. But they are not eliminated by any chance, and they've got the chance to do it themselves in these 7 games they have remaining with Baltimore for this week here in Detroit. Following Baltimore, Boston comes in this weekend for 3 games. Then the Tigers go to Baltimore next Tuesday, and will play Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in Baltimore against the Orioles. Now, the Tigers have done well against Baltimore lately. Feeling back in midsummer after the Tigers had seen the Birds the first time around, and the Birds began to play exceptionally well. That the Tigers play well against Baltimore, and they are not, not frightened of the Orioles by any means. In fact, Tigers been the only ones of late to play well against Baltimore down the line. Since September 21st of last year, 1982, the Tigers have won 7 and lost 4 against Baltimore. They're the only team to have a winning record against the Orioles since that time. Now, Dan Petry continues to loosen up down in the Tiger bullpen area. We're still waiting for the grounds crew to finish its work. The umpires apparently may have set a time to start this, but I don't know. Dan's been working down there just about long enough to be ready to throw out the first pitch. He's looking over his shoulder, too. He doesn't want to use up his game down in the bullpen, but the umpires have not come out as yet. We have had an umpiring change just a moment ago, and they'll line up this way. Behind the plate, John Shulock. At first, Rick Reed. At second, Darrell Cousins. And at third, Dale Ford. Ernie, 7.5 down with only 13 games to play. Tigers have a chance yet.
There's always a chance until the season's over. I'd say it would be slim and none right now, but they've got to go ahead and play, and they're almost in a position now where they have to win just about every game. And things like that have happened, but from a realistic standpoint, you'd have to say they don't have much of a chance.
What was your feeling, your sensing of the Orioles as they arrived here at Tiger Stadium today?
Well, I think the quiet confidence is the kind of the team that they've always had. I was talking to Ray Miller, and he was saying that the guys feel like they're going to do it, but they're not flamboyant about it or anything. They haven't counted their chickens yet because they haven't hatched. At least officially they haven't hatched. So they're going about it in a business-like way. And you look at fellows like Ripken and Murray, and they do something big, and it's all in a day's work for them. And they just keep on doing it. And I think the remarkable thing is the way this Baltimore team turned around and began to win so many games against so few losses. And they did it in such a fashion to look as if they'd never lose one. They get behind. The game last night was typical.
Yeah.
They get behind in the late innings and even in the extra innings and come back. And if they needed 2 runs, they'd score 2. If they needed 3, they'd score 3. And, you hate to use the old cliche, but if a team ever looked like a team of destiny, they have this year.
Well, John Miller, the Baltimore broadcaster, was telling you and me that even when they have played bad, they wind up winning the game somehow or another. They've looked very poor for several innings in a row, maybe, and fall way behind, but then rally and somehow put it together. And it's not just one guy each game that time, or the 2 guys, say Ripken or Murray or a Singleton, but it's been the Stefaros and the Dowers and the Bonners and the Gullivers that have come through for him too.
Which is another mark of a good team who have a different hero every night. And I think the fact now that they've got a pretty good sized lead, 7.5 games, they could afford a little slump at this time. They'd probably rather have it right now than have it during the playoffs when they're going to meet the Chicago White Sox. And I think that's going to be a very interesting playoff series. You've got 2 teams, assuming that the Orioles are going to win it, and it looks like they will, that have put a pretty good margin between themselves and the rest of their division. Chicago leading by 15.5 over Kansas City. And they'll be nice and relaxed and ready to go in. And the good thing about that from the managerial standpoint is that the manager can get his pitching rotation all straightened out. Doesn't have to worry about winning his division. He can go in ready and fresh with a good pitching rotation and go right into the playoffs with it.
And speaking of the pitching, Joe Altobelli has come up with some people this year, like a Mike Boddicker and the guy we're going to see in the second game, Bill Swaggerty, that have really filled big holes when it was absolutely necessary. And he's going to have a little bit of a problem, I would think. Now, maybe he's already got it figured out. Going into, say, a playoff series, who he's going to use as starting pitchers. He's got so many potential starting pitchers.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Swaggerty, John Miller was telling us, and Ray Miller told me, too, was a fellow who came in and was under tremendous pressure in that game against Chicago after the Orioles had had a bad series against the Cleveland Indians, and he's the guy that turned it around. He kept them in the ball game. I think it was 2-2, and then the Orioles went ahead to win it, and when they went after that, they won 34 and lost to 5 or something like that. Some outstanding kind of a record after Swaggerty had set them right, and I think it's the thing that you like to see with the pitchers like that come in and respond to pressure, and you find out one way or the other in a hurry whether they can do their job in the major leagues or not.
Well, it's going to bode well for the future.
Starting pitcher Dan Petry.
We're getting word now. We're getting the word now and getting a little action, and we're also getting a little drippage from the sky at the same time. There was a mist, and I saw some umbrellas pop out, and now the rain is starting again just as the grounds crew at this moment rolled the tarp back to the wall beyond the Tiger dugout. Petry is standing down, hands on hips. The word from the press box is we got an Alphonse Gaston act going right now, I think. As soon as Dan finishes his warm-ups, we would have the national anthem. Now, the umpires have not come out. We've not had the pregame meeting at home plate as yet. And the grounds crew now taking care of the extra couple of straps of tarp down there. But while it brightened up here at Tiger Stadium, we got a little rain again. It's not enough to interfere with play if they were going, but since they are not going, they might decide to hold off for a little bit. Petry has really completed his warm-ups down there. He's just looking around. He's looking for the home plate meeting. That's what he's looking for. And here they come, finally.
This is a kind of a situation the umpires dislike as much as anybody to, Paul, because not only do they have to make the decision about when to start the game, but then they have to be pretty well in touch with the weather department to know when to stop and to restart it. And nobody really knows about what the weather's going to do. And the game belongs to the umpires. They don't they really don't know what to do a lot of times because they can't figure out the weather, just like all of us.
Well, we're finally getting that meeting down there. Rick Dempsey is out representing Joe Aldebelli's Orioles. Rick, the veteran catcher, along with Coach Billy Consolo of the Tigers. And now Petry decides to heat up a little bit more, and I think he's just ended. He didn't want to lose it all down there in the bullpen, and he's completed his warm-ups. Let's hope that we can get these games in. These Tigers and Orioles have 4 games to pack in a 3-day span, and they just soon not have to reschedule anything at all, and it's hoped that they can play both these games tonight. The Tigers had a fine advance sale for all 3 games, all 4 games of this series, the 3 dates, and it looks like we're going to have a fine crowd if the weather holds right now and we get no more rain. Well, the Red Jackets are here at any rate, Ernie.
Bob Taylor will do the anthem for us, and nobody does it any better than Robert does.
And Bob has got himself a new Christmas album that is going to be coming out around, figures, the 1st of November. Got a chance to listen to one of the selections on it, and just gorgeous music done with a small little choir, young person's choir from Ann Arbor.
Beautiful background in that, and it will be out, I think, around in the month or so, I hear.
Now we're going to get the chance to hear Bob Taylor sing our national anthem. Of Bob Taylor singing our national anthem. And that album that he's going to have coming out, a little free plug for Bob and his work on the diamond here before the game. Bob Taylor Celebrates Christmas is the title of the album. The Brothers Records going to be bringing it out. Available through them out of Rochester, Michigan at Post Office Box 904. Now the umpires have moved out to their positions. This game will be getting underway shortly, and before it does, we'll pause for this message.
Nothing says summer quicker than a great backyard barbecue, especially when you start things off with ice-cold Budweiser. Now you're cooking.
It's works for you. There's no one else who does it quite the way you do. So here's to you. You know it isn't only what you say, it's what you do. It's Bud for you.
When the coals are hot and the grill's ready for action, that's when you'll want plenty of ice-cold Bud on hand. So turn down the heat this summer with that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
It's Bud for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Bud burgers and dogs coming right up. Yeah, here's to you.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Petry out on the mound now to take his final warm-up tosses. The Tigers are going to be looking at maybe a reborn Dennis Martinez here in the opener of this twilight doubleheader. Dennis is having overall the poorest season of his major league career. It was a terrible start for Martinez this year. The 28-year-old right-hander faced the Tigers one time, and the Tigers bombed him. Petry was the winning pitcher that night. Tigers wound up beating Baltimore 9-0 in 4 innings time. Martinez was nicked for 6 runs on 8 Tiger hits. But he sat out in terms of starting for some time, even used him in relief roles. And he went a period from August 23rd, I beg your pardon, from August 6th to August 23rd without starting. He did pitch some relief, but he came back and last Wednesday night and beat the Boston Red Sox at Fenway Park. He went 6 innings, allowed 4 hits and no runs, and that was his first victory since July 26th, his first start since the 6th of August. Well, maybe he is back. We're going to find out something about that this afternoon, this evening here in the opener of this twilight doubleheader. Dan Petry had his 4-game winning streak coming to an end in the opener of the series in Boston this past weekend, losing that game 6-1. And he's ready to start another one. Little Al Bumbry steps in to lead things off for Baltimore. And here for the play-by-play is Ernie Harwell.
Thank you, Paul. Here's one of the sharp guys on this Baltimore ball club. He's a veteran now, but he can still run very well. Batting .279, the leadoff man, Bumbry. Left hand about at the plate, fouls it away. We're underway in the first of a twilight doubleheader at Tiger Stadium. Strike one on Bumbry. 22-minute delay here at the start of the game because of the moisture. Clinching at third, Trammell at short, Whitaker at second, Cabell at first base. In the outfield, it's Herndon, Lemon, and Wilson. Petry delivers, strike. He got the slider in, and Bumbry looks at that one for strike 2. 73 degrees at game time at Tiger Stadium. Outfield a little bit to left on Al Bumbry. He'll be followed by Ford, and then it'll be Ripken in the Baltimore first inning. Here's the motion. The right-handed deals. Here's a foul out of play. Back to the grandstand of the count is still strike 2. Bumbry, one of the veterans of this team. He was Rookie of the Year with Baltimore back in '73. Hit .337 that year. Last year he batted .262. Hitting a little better than that right now. .279 for Al. Petry gets his sign from Parrish. Works again. The pitch is a ball high. And the Tiger fans thought that Mr. Bumbry might have been fanned on that one, but umpire Shulock didn't agree with him. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count on him. Jimmy Williams coaches at first base. Cal Ripken, senior, third. There's a ground ball to Whitaker. Easy chance. Throw to first to Cabell. 1 away. Dan Ford, the right-hand batting right fielder, steps up now. Ford batting .281 with 9 homers and 55 runs batted in. It's a large increase over his season's record last year when he batted .235. Outfield plays him straight away. Ford in a closed stance. Generally, he's considered a curveball pitcher. There's a hard slider in for a strike. Usually the Tigers try to pitch him in and with a fast stuff. Right-hand batter outfield straight up on Dan Ford. No score first inning, and there's a pop-up into short center. Lemon coming in. He's there. He makes the catch for the out. 2 down. Cal Ripken stepping up now. There are 2 men in this Baltimore lineup who are considered legitimate candidates for most valuable player, and they are right here in order. Cal Ripken and Eddie Murray. Ripken batting .312 with 95 RBIs and 24 home runs. Big, strong shortstop. Stands very deep in the batter's box. 2 out, nobody on. The game is scoreless in the first inning of the first game. And he takes a strike on the outside corner. Ripken, another kind of hitter who seems to like the ball in on him, and they try to pitch him curves away. There's a swing and a miss. He was jammed on that one right up at the letters. 2 quick strikes on him. Clinching backing up at third. No score first inning. 2 out for Baltimore. The battle has just begun here at the corner of Michigan and Trumbull. Come on out and join us. We've got 2 games here tonight. Here's the motion by Dan. He deals again, and it is a low curve outside. As Paul told you, Lance Parrish is not feeling up to par. He's in there anyway, catching in this first game. Little touch of the flu or something like that. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Ripken strikes out swinging, and Petry has a good inning. He sets the Birds down 1-2-3. At the end of a half inning, Baltimore nothing. Detroit comes to bat.
It's a snap to own a snapper today with our revolving credit plan. Buy now, no monthly payments until January 84 when you buy a snapper in September. Finance charges accrue from date of purchase. Snappers fall spectacular. What does it mean to you? Well, you can receive free versatile snapper attachments. Spectacular? You'd better believe it. Just visit your nearest snapper dealer and they'll show you just how spectacular. From snapper lawn tractors to our terrific walk and riding mowers, buy any of these great snapper products at the regular retail price and you can pick up a free attachment, including everything from a 6-bushel rear-mounted grass catcher kit to a snaperizer. Never has your fall lawn work and gardening been so economical or so easy. Thanks to Snapper's Fall Spectacular going on now. So take advantage soon, and remember, it's a snap to own a snapper with our revolving credit plan. Buy now, no monthly payments until January 84 when you purchase a snapper in September. Finance charges accrue from date of purchase.
In Owasso, see JR Sales. And in Royal Oak, it's Billings Feed Store. I love Little Caesar's Pizza, but sometimes I get in the mood for one of those thick, hearty, deep dish pizzas. Wish Little Caesar's made one.
Panza, Little Caesar treat.
Who are you? And what's Panza Pizza?
14 slices, so much for you to eat.
That's a lot of food. Tell me more.
Thick crust that is so crunchy, it's like you've never seen.
It sounds like a pizza the whole family will love.
Panza Pizza is the pizza lover's dream.
Terrific!
Little Caesar's new shape is so neat.
New shape? Hey, it's oval. 14 slices, 6 square ones, and 8 wedges. All in one deep dish, magnificent pizza. That'll feed the whole gang. Yes, but how does it taste?
Pizza is supreme. Panza Pizza is the pizza lover's dream.
Panza Pizza, now available at participating neighborhood Little Caesars.
Dennis Martinez tuning up now, ready to face the Tigers after Petry set the Birds down 1-2-3 in their half of the first inning. And it'll be Whitaker, Trammell, and Herndon to test Mr. Martinez, who is undergoing his toughest season since he's been in Baltimore. But he's come back in the last outing or so and done a good job. His record for the year is 7-14. Sweet Lou Whitaker at the plate, ready to try to get it started for the Tigers. Lou batting at .315, 11 home runs, and 64 runs batted in. He'll be followed by Trammell, then it'll be Herndon. Right-hander Martinez on the mound, ready to go to work. And there's a chopper foul down past third, a little grounder outside the bag. Gulliver playing third, Ripken at short, Dower at second, Murray at first for Baltimore. They've got Nolan catching. Lowenstein is in left, Bumbry in center, forward, and right. Denny Martinez on the mound. Denny can throw hard. There's a fastball outside of the count, 1-1. Got a slider and a good changeup. Also a good fielding pitcher, Denny Martinez. There's a foul upstairs, out of play. 1-2 the count on Lou Whitaker. Mr. Shulock putting a new baseball into play now. The Baltimore outfield plays Whitaker around toward right. Different, say, than the Boston outfielders did. Here's a pitch by the right-hander. And it is a breaking ball wide. 2-2 the count on Lou. Cloudy skies. The rain seems to have subsided, at least for a while. Martinez gets his sign from Nolan again and works. There's a foul fly out of play. Let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network. And you're listening to Tiger Baseball on Radio 76, the great voice of the Great Lakes, WJR Detroit. Two count on Lou Whitaker. No score first inning. Tigers at bat. There's another foul out of play. This one lifted over on the third base side. Still a 2-2 count on him. Petry set the Orioles down in order in their half of the first inning. Now Martinez working against the Tigers. The Orioles have won 10 of their last 11. They've won 4 straight, and they lead the Tigers by 7.5. Ground ball to first base. Murray grabs it, makes the play. Unassisted, 1 up and 1 down in the Tiger first inning. Here comes Alan Trammell, the Detroit shortstop, batting .313 with 14 home runs and 62 RBIs. Last month or so, he and Whitaker have stayed fairly close together in the offensive figures. Here's Tram waiting on Denny Martinez. No score first inning. Swing and it'll roll a foul on the third base side in the grass. He checked his swing on that one and just tapped it down the third base side. Orioles have been getting some good hitting since August the 26th. As a team, they're batting .313. And in the pitching department, in the last 38 games since August the 12th, they've got a 2.71 earned run average. There's a strike. Big curve over. Oh, pitching and hitting going together, you've got it pretty well made. 2 strikes on Allen. That was a good, hard breaking ball on the outside corner from Martinez. Now they wind up in the pitch. Swung on, ground ball, hit sharply and foul down past third. Chicago and the Phillies are underway in their game. They are 2-2 at the end of 1. Trout against Gross. That's a twilight game in Philadelphia. Pittsburgh beat the Mets today in their game 4-0. Martinez delivers, fastball fouled away. Well, the Tigers have done one thing. These first 2 hitters, they've made him throw a lot of pitches already. And they've lost a lot of baseballs already, too, in the seats on these fouls. Back among the customers. Denny looks him over, gets his sign again from Nolan. It is a strike 2 count on Trammell. Here it comes. Swing, another foul out of play. Well, he's not wasting any. Still a strike 2 count, and Allen just keeps fouling them off. Martinez into action. Trammell waits. Here it comes. Here's a swing and a line drive. Base hit to the field. Persistence pays off for Trammell. That's the first runner in the game. Herndon will be the next Tiger batter. Larry batting .296 with 18 home runs and 83 runs batted in. He has an 8-game hitting streak. One of the remarkable things about Baltimore is the left field position. They've used mainly Gary Renicky and John Lowenstein. And that left field position has produced a .298 average with 32 home runs and 119 RBI. So there's a case of the platoon system really paying dividends. Here's a pitch to Herndon. It's a fastball high. Ball one, the count on Larry. Now the set by Martinez. He flips over to first base. Pretty good move for Dennis. But Trammell back in time. Well, the center field of Bunbury is slightly toward right field on Larry Herndon. Now the set by Martinez. Runner goes. It's a strike. Nolan's throw to second. Not in time. Stolen base for Trammell.
That's Allen's 26th. Pardon me, that's Allen's 26th of the year.
Number 26, he's having quite a year in the stolen base department. One and one, that's the count on Herndon. The Tigers got a man at second with one away in the first inning of the first game. It's scoreless. Martinez checks his side again. Set by the right-hander. He pitches. There's a curve. A good stop by Nolan at the plate. Got a breeze coming out of the west right now. It's blowing from third base out toward the right field. Herndon steps away. Martinez took a little bit too much time for him, so he's going to step out of the batter's box. Now the right-hander ready for action. It is a 2-1 pitch due to Larry Herndon. There goes Trammell, and it is low. Throw to third. He's got it. Got a terrific jump that time on Martinez. Nolan didn't have a chance. Stolen base.
We've got a veritable Ricky Henderson playing shortstop for us.
Absolutely. Man at third now with one man down. The infield will play back. At this stage of the game, Baltimore will give up a run and exchange it for the out. 3-1 the count on Larry Herndon. Now Martinez again takes a lot of time, and Larry steps away. Is ready. He sets, he holds it, he pitches. Here's a ball low. Herndon gets a walk. Man on first, man on third. Dower and Nolan go out to talk with Denny Martinez. And the next man to bat will be Parrish. Lance is hitting .272. He didn't have much of a series up in Boston. 25 home runs and 105 RBIs. Here comes Ray Miller, the pitching coach of Baltimore, out. He wants to say something to the pitcher, Denny Martinez.
don't know that they ever did find out what was wrong with Dennis. Earlier in the year, mechanically, apparently, he seemed sound, but it had to be something wrong there because the arm was sound, and he was having no pain or anything. He was just getting hit hard.
He's got in a bad spell there, probably, and slump just as bad as slump, and field as slump. Probably, and slump just as bad as slump, and field as slump. But he seems to have pulled out of it. But right now, the Tigers have runners at first and third. The conference is over. One man out, and Parrish at the plate. Game is scoreless in the last half of the first inning. And there's a breaking ball low, ball one. Herndon edging off the bag at first. They've got Eddie Murray holding over there with him. Trammell down the line slightly from third. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss on a high, hard one. 1-1 on Lance Parrish.
I think the Orioles felt he was throwing high too much early in the year. And you'll notice that many of the pitches he's missing on are those sliders of his, but they're low. And that's what they want him to do, keep it down. He was getting hurt with a high slider.
Yes, especially in a ballpark like this one. Now the 1-1 delivery coming up to Lance. He swings and misses again. 1-2 the count on him. Gibson is waiting on deck. The Tigers with a scoring chance here in the opening inning. They've got Trammell at third and Herndon down. So Parrish waits again on the 1-2 serve by the right-handed Dennis Martinez. Martinez delivers, and it is a high one. Herndon goes to second. He makes it. The throw goes into center field. Here comes Trammell. He'll score. Herndon takes third. The Tigers lead 1-0 in the first. From Chuck Hockey, the official scorer. It's a steal for Herndon, and Trammell scores on the throwing error by Nolan, the same error on which Herndon moved to third base. And the Tigers have a 1-0 lead. Herndon is now at third with one out. And the 2-2 count on Parrish. Sparky running his team, trying to keep out of that double play in that situation there. And he got an extra bonus out of it. Here's a set the pitch. He swings a little line drive into center for a base hit. Herndon will score 2-0 Tigers. A soft liner over second. Ripped into the glove side. Couldn't reach it. It got past him, and the Tigers jump in front of the Birds 2-0 in the first. He's up to 219. He's hit 360 over the last 9 games. Picking it up a little bit here toward the end of the year. Parrish on first, one man down. 2-0, the Tigers jumping in front here in the first game of the doubleheader. Gibson takes, and it is a breaking ball wide, ball one. Outfield deep to right, the infield in double play depth. Gibson swings. Here's a drive to left center. It'll get up the alley. Here comes Parrish rounding second, headed for third. He's coming around third. He's coming home. He'll score. Gibson is racing for third. The throw to the plate. Triple. The Tigers get another run and lead it 3-0. drive up the alley in deep left center. The throw came to the plate not in time to nip Parrish, who scored all the way from first. And Gibson goes into third with a 3-bagger. The Tigers jump in front 3-0 in the first inning. Enos Cabell will be the next man to bat. Jim Palmer is starting to loosen in the Baltimore bullpen. The tall right-hander. Now the infield in close now. With 1 out, Gibson at third base. Martinez delivers. Here's a breaking ball in too close. Ball 1. With 1 out, a single by Trammell, a walk to Herndon, a single by Parrish, a triple by Gibson, plus the 3 stolen bases and a throwing error by the catcher Nolan, leading to the Tiger 3-0 advantage in the first inning. Here's a pitch. He swings a bounding ball up the middle. Base hit. In to score comes Gibson, and the Tigers get another run. They are now ahead 4-0. Man at first, 1 out, and Lemon will be the batter. Chet is batting .261. He has 64 RBIs and 24 homers. Nolan wants a conference with Denny Martinez. Palmer continues to loosen in the Baltimore bullpen. Early in this inning, the Tigers used their running to set up the scoring, and then the hitters came through. Gibson with the extra base blow this inning, the 3-bagger. The other 3 hits have been singled by Trammell, by Parrish, and by Cabell. Now here's Lemon to try to keep it moving. 4 runs on 4 hits for the Tigers, no runs and no hits for the Orioles. Cabell leading off the bag over there at first, and Chet Lemon waits. Here's a pitch. He swings at the high fly, deep center. Bumpry going way back, still going, and it hits the flagpole. It's coming back on the field. Here comes Cabell rounding third. He'll score, and Lemon takes third. It hits the flagpole and came back on the playing field. What a blow.
Sparky's coming out, Ernie. He's going to claim home run, and I think he's right. I think the ground rule is if it hits above that yellow line, it's a home run.
I don't think so. It bounces back.
Huh?
If it bounces in, after it hits above, it's a home run.
Oh, okay.
I think that's it.
Into the old bullpen area.
Yeah. If it hits at the base and bounces in, it's a 2-base hit. But it's a 3-bagger for Chet Lemon. And another run for the Tigers.
You just don't see a ball hit the foul pole above that yellow line very often, do you?
That's the first one I remember hitting there. And there may have been one before when I was broadcasting, but that's the first one I can remember. What a long blow, and it's 5-0 the Tigers. Lemon is at third now with that 3-bagger. And let's see what Wilson can do. He's batting .268 with 11 home runs. And he takes a curve. It's outside. Ball 1. That's the second triple in this inning. Pulled one way or sliced the other way, it would have been a home run. Here's the step by Dennis, and he pitches. Here's a ground ball up the middle. Another hit for the Tigers. And it is 6-0 Detroit. The singles generally have been through the middle. In fact, even the 2 triples were hit straight away. Here's Trenchicki. He's the 9th Tiger to bat. 6-0 Detroit. So after the out by Whitaker, here's what's happened. Not counting the stolen bases. A single, a walk, a single, a triple, a single, a triple, and a single. Here comes Altobelli out. He might want to make a change at this point. He's looking at the bullpen. He's not signaled yet for Jim Palmer. Now he gives the signal, and that's off at Dennis Martinez. He will leave the game with Palmer taking over. And the Tigers in the first inning have set up a 6-0 lead over their rivals from Baltimore.
An incredible opening inning for the Tigers against the front-running Baltimore Orioles, and Dennis Martinez, who trots off to the dugout now. Palmer's coming on to just keep this one respectable here in the first inning. The Tigers have clipped Martinez for 6 hits, 5 of them in a row, 2 of them triples, and the word by way of the umpires about that drive of Lemons off the foul pole is that the umpires say that if it hits the foul pole, no matter where it hits it, and bounces onto the field, the ball is in play. That is, it could hit it way up by the bleachers, and it would still be in play, apparently. Doesn't make any difference how far up the foul pole it goes, it's in play. So Jim Palmer, the veteran, stylish right-hander, takes over on the mound, and while he warms up, we'll take time out for this message.
Everywhere you turn these days, you're bombarded with ads about the new IRA plans. Well, Farmers Insurance Group believes that IRA is a great idea. It can help you tax shelter up to $2,000 of your earned income every year for your retirement, and it's a wonderful way to supplement Social Security. But are all IRAs alike? Absolutely not. Farmers New World Life Insurance Company, a member of Farmers Insurance Group, FIG, has a special IRA plan with advantages you can't get from your bank or savings and loan association. It backs you with the security and stability of Farmers, a major U.S. financial institution. It also provides you with the long-term personal attention of your fast, fair, friendly Farmers agent. So before you leap into just any IRA, look at your Farmers agent's special plan.
In Clarkston, call Carl Harden at 625-4331. In Rochester, Nora Murphy, 656-0046. And in Berkeley, Darlene Glogauer at 399-4343.
I'm embarrassed by what I was saying earlier in the relaying the information from the umpires about the flagpole. I kept saying foul pole. I meant the flagpole out in center field, just a little bit to the left of center field. The ball hitting it, no matter where it hits it, it's in play if it goes back on the field. Now, Jim Palmer, old number 22, doing a little pawing away on the mound, ready to face Wayne Krenchicki with Wilson at first, still only 1 out in the Tiger first inning, 6-0 Tigers. Ernie?
All right, we'll see whether Krenchicki can keep it going now for the Tigers against the reliever, Jim Palmer. Outfield is a little bit, no, they're going to play him straight away. Palmer looking back. Jim is one of the few pitchers that you'll see designate the area where he wants his outfielders to play. He'll turn around and point and ask them to move over or stay where they are or whatever. Here's Krenchicki, and he takes a breaking ball in for a strike. Wayne batting .259. Palmer with a record of 4-4. This is his 12th game. All but one of his appearances before this one have been as a starting pitcher. 6 runs and 6 hits for the Tigers. They lead 6-0. There's a ball outside the breaking ball low. 1-1, the count on Krenchicki. Jim Palmer will be 38 years old in the middle of October. He delivers a fastball outside, 2-1. The tall right-hander deals again, and Krenchicki slices a little pop fly to left. Lowenstein digging, can't get it. It drops in, bounds off his glove. On to third now will go Wilson, and Krenchicki holds at first base. Little Texas leaguer between Ripken and Lowenstein. Lowenstein charged it. Couldn't get to it. It sort of squirted away from him. See whether there's an error charged to Lowenstein or whether it'll just be a single and that's it. So far, no report that it'll be any more than a single. So here comes Whitaker up for the second time in the first inning. The first time up, he bounced to first. And everybody since then has reached base. There's the word. Lowenstein is charged with an error, allowing Wilson to take third base after he had stopped at second on the single by Clinching. Lou takes it. It is a fastball high from Jim Palmer. 6 runs and 7 hits for the Tigers. Murray holding Clinching at first base. The outfield on Whitaker is almost straight up now. They're not playing him as much to right as they did before. Now the pitch on the way. It's a ball off. It's a little unusual, too, because you figure Palmer does not throw as hard as Dennis Martinez. Maybe they know how they're going to pitch him. 2-0, the count on Whitaker. The set to pitch. He swings. There's a long one. Deep right, and it is gone. A home run for Whitaker. A 3-run homer, a 9-0 lead for Detroit. Number 12 for Lou Whitaker. Clinching and Wilson score ahead of him. And the Tigers have a 9-0 lead over the league leaders. Another Armour Star home run. It sends the gift certificate for $25 worth of Armour food products to Detroit Baptist Children's Home, redeemable at A&T Food Store. Compliments of Armour Food Company. The Tigers have scored 9 times here in the opening inning. Here's Trammell, who started it with a single with 1 out. And he takes a slow one, high, ball 1. Was Lou Whitaker's 12th home run. In too close on Tram, 2-0 the count on him. Palmer winds, delivers. Here's a strike called on Trammell, 2-1. Crowd buzzing about this 9-run first inning. There's a fly ball into left center. Will it drop in? Yes, sir, it does. Another hit for the Tigers. Trammell gets his second hit of the first inning. And the crowd is loving this surge by the Tigers. Here's Herndon stepping up. He walked the first trip. The Tigers have sent 11 men to the base. They have scored 9 runs. There's 1 man out and 1 man on. And Herndon, with that pregame average up there to 296. He takes a fastball from Jim Palmer, ball 1. Murray holding close at first base with Trammell. They've got Dower, the second baseman, over to the bag toward his right. Here's the set by Palmer. He pitches. Here's a fly ball deep to left. Going back, Lowenstein, and this one is gone. A 2-run homer for Herndon. 11-0 the Tigers lead it. Number 19 for Larry Herndon. Here comes Trammell to score. Here comes Herndon home. 11-0 Detroit. Star home run. It sends the gift certificate for $25 worth of Armour food products. The Boulevard Temple Methodist Retirement, redeemable at Meyer Thrifty Acres. Compliments of the Armour Food Company. We'll get a pinch batter now for Parrish. Wackenfuss will bat for Lance Parrish here in the first inning. We told you that Lance was ailing. He's got flu or something, and Wackenfuss is batting for him now. Takes an inside let-up, ball 1. John batting .279. The Tigers have scored 11 times here in the opening inning. Palmer delivers. It is in the dirt. Ball 2 to Wackenfuss. The The Tigers have 10 hits and a walk in this inning. There's a ball low. 3-0 the count on John B. Palmer scraping around with his spikes out there on the mound. Now the right-hander winds and pitches. It's a strike called on Joaquin Fuss, 3-1. Palmer into the windup, stopped in the middle of it. Now starts over. Here's the pitch. It is a low one. He walked in. The second walk of the inning. Here comes Gibson. He tripled his first time. He's the 14th Tiger batter to come to the plate. Joaquin Fuss at first, Gibson at bat. The Tigers lead it 11-0 over the Birds. Outfield almost straight up on Gibson. His triple was to left center. And he fouls it away. Didn't get around on the fastball. 8 different times that Jim Palmer's won 20 games in a season. He's been the outstanding pitcher in the Baltimore history. Here's the pitch by Jim, and the change is swung on and missed by Gibson. 2 strikes on him.
Now, pitching coach Ray Miller's given a sign down to the bullpen. Get a left-hander up there, somebody. Some side-arming left-hander, it looks like the sign is.
Gibson leaning in waiting. 2 strikes on him, a man out of the man out. And he swings and misses. Struck him out. That'll be the second out of the inning. Here comes Cabell. Tigers sent 12 men up without anybody being retired between the bounce out by Whitaker and the strikeout by Gibson here in the first inning. A remarkable string. There's a fastball outside on Cabell. All of those 12 batters had hits except Herndon walk and Joaquin Fuss walk. Change-up is in too close, 2-0.
Notice the scoreboard is not capable of putting in 11 for inning number 1.
We'll just have to remember that the Tigers scored 11. There's a ground ball, deep shortstop, Ripken over, grabs it, throw to second, not in time. It'll be another hit for the Tigers. Cabell gets his second hit of the inning. And here comes Chet Lemon, who had a triple off the flagpole the first time he batted in this inning. Let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network. And this is your Tiger Baseball station, your power station for sports, WJR Detroit. WJR stands for sports. Lemon at the plate, and he takes a breaking ball from Jim Palmer, ball 1. 11 runs on 11 hits for Detroit. They've also picked up a couple of walks here in the first inning. They've got 2 men on and 2 men out against Jim Palmer, relieving Dennis Martinez. Jim, not quite ready. He straddles the slab out there. Lemon did not get out of the batter's box. So the set, the pitch, he takes high and away, ball 2, 2-0. Dan Morogiello is the left-hander throwing in the bullpen. Here's the set now by Palmer. He deals again. Lemon swings. There's a high pop-up back of third base. Should end the inning. Here comes Lowenstein, and he gets it. He collides with Ripken, but he holds on to it, and the inning is over. And what an inning it's been. The Tigers got 11 runs on 11 hits, and at the end of one, it is Detroit 11, Baltimore nothing.
We're gonna be here to serve you all the way.
gasoline, diesel, and tires and stuff. We got quality products, more than enough. We got service that's full. We got service that's self. We got hoses and belts right off the shelf. A century of service, tomorrow and today. The good old Marathon way. If your car engine's knocking, it's giving you a message. It's telling you it's time to visit your nearest full-service Marathon man. He's got everything from Super M lead-free to Mile Maker lead-free and regular. Marathon is constantly improving these gasolines. We even put in an additive that improves fuel economy. Protect your driving investment with quality car care products and the complete services you get from your friendly Marathon man. Be a winner. Be a marathoner. Yeah. Best in the long run.
The trees and shrubs that beautify your home can also damage it when their roots penetrate sewage pipes. But Robic Root Killer from True Value Hardware stores can clear them away and keep them away. Hi, Pat Summerall to tell you it destroys roots where they enter and prevents regrowth. Then minimize septic tank maintenance with Robic Septic Tank Treatment that breaks down wastes to prevent clogging. Both non-caustic Robic formulas protect your home for a full year, and they're available at participating True Value Hardware stores and home centers.
It's Farmer Jack savings time. Time to save on a delicious high-grade whole boneless ham. It's just $1.28 a pound this week only at Farmer Jack.
That's what you call a big inning, or a big beginning. The Tigers get 11, and they lead Baltimore 11-0 going into the second inning. Some changes for the Tigers. Joaquin Fuss will stay in the game and do the catching. Rick Leach will go to first base, replacing Cabal. And the Orioles bat now in the second. Eddie Murray, John Lowenstein, and Ken Singleton will face Dan Petry. Murray, the switch batter, batting left-handed. Outfield around to right on him. He's hitting .306, another great year for Eddie Murray. What an outstanding player he's been. Very consistent at the plate, very consistent in the field. Plays just about every game. He's had 28 home runs. He's knocked in 101 runs. Petry on the mound working with a lead 11-0, and he fires a fastball in for a strike. Strike one called on Eddie Murray. There's a ball in close on Eddie, 1-1. Couple of home runs and two triples feature that 11-run surge by the Tigers. Triple by Gibson, triple by Lemon, home run by Whitaker, home run by Herndon. Now the 1-1 delivery. Murray hits a bounding ball to right. It'll be a hit. A ground single between Whitaker and Leach puts Eddie Murray on. He's the first Oriole runner today. Lowenstein will be the batter, the veteran outfielder. John's come up with a lot of key hits for this Baltimore club this year, batting .279, 12 home runs, and 51 RBIs. Swings and fouls it away. That one came down, hit him on the foot. And Mr. Shulock, the plate umpire, is going to take that one out of play. Lowenstein, basically a fastball hitter. He likes to pull the ball most of the time. Not quite ready to get back in there yet. Still got that hot dog. Strike one, the count on John. Here's the set by Dan Petry. He delivers. Here's a high foul. It'll be out of play. Strike two. Now let's send out some birthday wishes. Rose Almanenik of Detroit. Happy birthday to Rose. Also to Bob Delano, an announcer at WTCM Radio in Traverse City, longtime Tiger supporter. And to Octavia Van Lokeren at Roseville, who's 103 years old on this date. There's a ball low to Lowenstein. 1-2 the count on him. 11-0. The Tigers lead the Orioles in the second inning of the first game. Time called at first base. Eddie Murray has to take his shoe off for a moment. Lowenstein gets back in the batter's box. Petry about ready to go to work again. Here's the set by Dan. And the 1-2 pitch on the way. Fouled off. It'll be out of play upstairs. Some other Tiger fans celebrating 90th birthdays. James McDougal of Detroit. Myrtle Hengsteffer of Marine City. And Glenn Mayer of Munich. All celebrating their 90th birthdays on this date. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Lowenstein, and it's a ball low, gets by Wackenfuss. Murray will take second. That was a breaking ball in the dirt. John couldn't handle it.
Wild pitch.
It'll be a wild pitch. Murray takes second, and the count is 2-2 on Lowenstein. The Phillies lead the Cubs at Philadelphia at the end of 4 in that twilight game, 5-3. Lowenstein hits a ground ball to Whitaker. He'll go to first. To Leach, and out is Lowenstein on to third. Cruises Eddie Murray. Ken Singleton, a switch batter. Outfielder hitting .287. He is the DH this evening. He has 84 RBIs and 18 home runs. Tigers lead them 11-0. The Orioles have a man at third now with one out in their second inning. Singleton stands deep and takes a fastball outside from Dan Petry, ball one. He'll be followed by the catcher, Joe Nolan. Breeze is picking up a little bit. It's blowing out toward right. Still cloudy skies in Detroit. Here's the pitch. Swung on the ground ball. It's deep short. Trammell has it. Long throw to first. The lead is in time for the out, and Eddie Murray crosses the plate to give Baltimore their first run of the night. 11-1, the Tigers lead now. It'll be an RBI by Singleton on the ground out to Trammell, who went very deep and made the long throw to Leach. Here's Joe Nolan, the left-handed batting catcher with a .286 average. And Joe takes a ball wide from Dan Petry. If you missed the afternoon game, Pittsburgh beat the Mets in New York today 4-0. Only afternoon action in the majors. Nolan waits. Here it comes. He swings and hits a foul ball on the ground down past first base. Good to have Mr. Dale Conquest, star of WJR, Sports Wrap, etc., etc., out with us today. Here's the 1-1 delivery now to Nolan. He swings and fouls it away, 1-2. Eleven runs and 11 hits for Detroit. 1 run and 1 hit for Baltimore. Baltimore batting in the second inning. Nolan just about midway of the batter's box, waiting on Petry's 1-2 pitch. Here it is. He swings and hits another little foul ball down toward first base. A little slow grounder in that direction. Here's another birthday we'd like to recognize from the Tigers to Mr. Reuben Bibb of Romeo. He's been a devoted fan for many, many years.
July 15th at Minnesota.
Nolan still waiting, and the count is still 1-2 on Joe. Here's the windup by Petry. The pitch is swung on and hit fouled again. Down past first base. You missed that first inning. The Tigers scored 11 times on 11 hits. They sent 16 batters to the plate. after the first out by Whitaker, the next 12 reach base consecutively. Here's the wind-up in the pitch. He swings, and there's another foul out of play. This one upstairs, back at third. And a gentleman from Northville made a good catch of that one. The big blows of that Tiger first inning, triples by Gibson and Lemon, home runs by Whitaker and Herndon. Here's the wind-up in the pitch. Nolan fouls another one away. They've sure used a lot of baseballs already tonight. Ralph Snyder and company will have to open up a new crate down there under the stadium. Nolan, left-hand batting catcher, waiting on the next one. It is still a 1-2 count on him. 2 out, nobody on. Petry winds and deals. Here's a fastball, high 2-2. Petry got about 1-2-3 in the opening inning, and in this inning, Murray single, took second on the wild pitch, came in on a couple of bounce outs. Nolan waits, here it comes, he swings, and there's another ground foul past first base, down to the Oriole bullpen. Glenn Gulliver, a one-time Tiger property, waiting at the on-deck circle. 2-2 the count on Joe Nolan. Bend at the knees, he waits, here it comes. He takes a high, hard one, ball 3. Full count on him. $11-0. The Tigers lead the Orioles in the second inning. Swing, there's a drive to right. Going back is Wilson. It is off the wall. And Nolan has a long single. The ball got over Wilson's head before he could get back, and then he played the ricochet well and fired it in the channel. And here comes Gulliver to the plate. Gulliver hitting .333 in 12 games. That's 8 for 24 with a couple of RBIs and no home runs for Glenn. Left-hand batter stepping in. He stands deep in the batter's box. Petry ready, serves, and it is a fastball high and away on Gulliver. Gulliver batted .309 this year at Rochester and had 11 home runs and 62 RBIs. Played second and third. Here's a fastball outside on Glenn. 2-0 the count on him. The fellow picks up a lot of walks. It's always been that case with him throughout his career. He had 117 at Rochester to lead the league. And there's another one wide, ball 3 to Gulliver. Native of Detroit makes his home in Allen Park. Here's the pitch, and it is a strike on the outside corner, 3-1 on Gulliver. Now the set, the pitch, it is wide, he walked him. Oh, the ex-Tiger gets on the base on balls. That'll put 2 on and 2 out. And it'll bring up Jim Dower for the second baseman. Dower batting .231 with 5 home runs and 39 runs batted in. That's the first walk issued by Petry. He's walked 1 and struck out 1. Right-hand batting Dower waits. Here's the pitch, and it is a hard slider in for a strike. Game delayed in its start because of rain. Tigers lead in the second inning 11-1. It's the first of 2 here tonight. Swing and a fly ball lifted into short left. Herndon comes in. He's there. He's got it, and the side retired. One run for the Birds. The Tigers bat in the second. They lead 11-1.
Bank of Commerce. In times like these, got to get your money growing. In times like these, can't afford to draw a blank. In times like these, money's got to make it showing. In times like these, you need a strong bank. Bank of Commerce.
If you've ever thought that it doesn't matter where you get a MasterCard or Visa, think again, because there are advantages to getting both at Bank of Commerce. For one thing, you can apply for both with just one application, and each card will give you access to the same line of credit. You'll receive one monthly statement for both, and you make only one payment. Stop by any branch of the bank that's strong on helping. Bank of Commerce, member FDIC. Offices in Hamtramck, Warren, Centerline, and Avon and Shelby Townships.
In times like these, you need a strong bank. Bank of Commerce.
Win a trip to the World Series. Enter at Bank of Commerce or State Bank of Fraser. No purchase necessary.
Hello, Allied? I packed a 200-pound peck of pickles, and I gotta get them from Detroit to Lansing by tomorrow. Can't spend more than $32. Boy, am I in a pickle, huh? I'm not?
Call Allied Delivery System and get rid of your packages and your package delivery problems. Allied will pick up and deliver any size or weight package or shipment for less than anyone else. Call us. Allied Delivery System. From you to them for less.
Tigers coming to bat now to see what they can do for an encore. After the first inning, they scored 11 times in that opener, and they've got an 11-1 lead. Waiting on the catcher, Nolan, to come out. He was on base and had to go get his catching equipment on. And now he takes over from Dempsey to warm up Jim Palmer and toss one down to second base, and we're about set to go. Glenn Wilson, who had a single and drove in a run in the first inning, will lead it off for the Tigers. Outfield straight up on Glenn. 11-1, the Tigers lead in the second inning. There's a high foul out of play upstairs. Strike one. He swung late on Palmer's fastball. Now Jim looks into Nolan to get the sign, goes to work again on Wilson. There's a fastball that jams him 1-1 the count. Here's the motion by Jim Palmer. The pitch is swung on it to second baseman Dower. He has a nice easy hop throw to Murray. One up and one down in the Tigers' second inning.
We're going to be backing up our innings here on our scorecard.
Yeah, that's right. Really going to be a filled-up scorecard tonight. Here's Krenchicki. He contributed a single in that 11-hit attack in the first inning for the Tigers. Batting .266 now, facing one of his old teammates, Jim Palmer. There's a ball outside on Wayne. Send get well wishes to Mrs. William Graber of Romulus. Hope she's up and at him soon. Here's the wind-up and the pitch, and it is a slow one that hits the middle of the plate. 1-1, the count on Wayne Krenchicki. 6 hits in the last 3 games for this guy. There's a ball outside. 2-1, the count on him. Fastball high to Krenchicki, 3-1 on the Tiger third baseman. Here's the motion, the pitch on the way, swing and a ground ball wide at the first base, picked up by Dower. He can't hold it, and Krenchicki is safe. He came over to the glove side. Got his glove on it, but couldn't hang on after the ball got past Murray. Palmer came over to cover, but Dower couldn't find the handle on the ball after he knocked it down. It'll be a single for Krenchicki, his second hit. And here's Lou Whitaker, who batted twice in the first inning. Bounced to first in the leadoff spot and then hit a 3-run homer the next time up. Number 12 in the home run column for Sweet Lou. Palmer on the mound, 11-1 the Tigers. Here's a fastball outside from big, tall Jim, ball one. It's a ball outside. Every one of the Tigers starters has a hit already. Walkenfuss, who batted for Paris, threw a walk. Rick Leach, the other substitution, has not yet been to the plate. There's a fastball over above the knees, a 2-1 on Lou Whitaker.
You realize how unusual that is for to have said that we haven't even finished the second inning and every starter has at least one hit?
That's right. Only one out in the second. Here's the pitch. Lou takes, and it is a ball low, 3-1.
They all got him in the first inning.
Absolutely. Tigers starting off with a bang. Here's the pitch, and Lou swings and fouls it away. Tigers starting off with a bang. Here's the pitch, and Lou swings and fouls it away. It'll be over in the third base sector. 3-2, the count on Whitaker. 11 runs, 12 hits for Detroit, 1 run and 2 hits for Baltimore. Lou swings and fouls another one away. This one straight back behind the plate. Wind seems to be changing. It's blowing a little bit more out toward left now. Man at first, Clinching, 3-2 pitch. Whitaker takes, and he has a walk. That's the second walk issued by Jim Palmer. It will bring Alan Trammell to the plate. Alan had 2 singles in the first inning, 2 for 2 so far. That's pulled his average up to 316. 2 men on, 1 man down. The Tigers lead 11-1 in the second inning of the first game. Here's the stretch by the tall right-hander Palmer. He pitches. Here's a fly ball. Short center might drop in. Bumpry coming hard. Can't get it. Drops in front. Clinching will score. Whitaker takes third, and Trammell has 3 for 3. And the Tigers get their 12th run. Here comes Herndon, who had a walk and a 2 in the first inning. First and a man on third. Infield and double play depth for the Orioles. 12-1, Detroit leads Baltimore. Palmer straddles the slab. Nothing happens. Herndon just steps out of the batter's box. Every Tiger starter has an RBI except Clinching. There's a high foul out of play. That one will reach the seats back at first base. And Clinching could hardly be faulted. He has 2 singles and 2 trips.
That's right.
Herndon steps away. Strike 1, the count on Larry. Jim Palmer checking his sign. Whitaker on second. Trammell on third. Trammell on first. Here's the ball out inside. And they count 1-1 on Herndon. Now the set by Palmer. He pitches a slow curve hit on the ground to short. Maybe 2. Over to second for 1. Relay to first. Not in time. Trammell went in on Dower, and he didn't get anything on the relay over to Murray. And the Tigers get another run to make it 13-1. It'll be an RBI for Herndon on the force out at second base of Trammell. Whitaker crossing the plate on the force out to make it 13-1 Detroit. Here comes a walk-in pass. Came into bat for Parrish in the first inning and drew a walk. That's been his only time at the plate, so his average is still 279. Palmer delivers, and John takes a fastball high, ball one.
The throw by Dower was a strange-looking one. It was very accurate, but he didn't get anything out of it. The reason is the ball was slipping out of his hand as he threw.
Now Palmer and Shulock are having a conversation. Shulock yelling something out to Palmer. They meet halfway between the mound and home plate. Ball one, the count on John B. Wackenfuss here in the Tigers' second inning of the first game. And the pitch on the way. He takes the ball low in the dirt. Good stop by Nolan. 2-0 to count on John. He'll be followed by Gibson. Palmer delivers. Here's a foul back this way, and the count is 2-1.
I suppose Palmer was telling Shulock, I've got a good buy for you on briefs.
Now the 2-1 pitch. Big, slow curve. Grab the outside corner going by. 2-2 the count on Wackenfuss. 2 out, 1 on. Here's the set by the right-hander. He pitches fastball, struck him out, and the Tigers are out in the second inning. They get 2 and up their lead to 13-1 at the end of 2.
Why should you insure your home, automobile, and your life with a farmer's agent? For some very good reasons. Farmers agents are professionals who realize that the best way to succeed is in doing an outstanding job for their clients. Farmers Insurance Group, FIG, does business on the principle of keeping the cost of your insurance down and the amount of your protection up. Sometimes this means your agent will recommend that you carry a higher deductible on your auto or home, or tailor a life insurance program to fit both your family and business needs. Mostly it means looking at your situation from your viewpoint, not theirs. So call your fast, fair, friendly farmer's agent real soon.
He's Dave Giancola. If you live over in Fraser, 296-3844. And Warren residents can call Mike Dennis at 978-0132. You see, both of them are fast, fair, friendly Farmers Insurance Group agents.
It's not enough that a new broom sweeps clean. It should also continue sweeping effectively even when it's old. Hi, Pat Summerall to say True Value hardware stores offer long-lasting Empire brooms, like the Super Brute Outdoor Push Broom at $7.99. It features heavy-duty bristles and a metal tip locking handle that can't break off. For general outdoor cleanups, choose the Empire Upright Broom with washable polypropylene bristles. It's just $4.99 at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Well, the Birds come to bat now. The Tigers lead Baltimore 13-1. We're going into the third inning. Bombry, the leadoff man, will resume that role here in the third. The first time up, starting the ball game, he bounced to Lou Whitaker. Petry working with a 12-run lead at 13-1 in the first game of a doubleheader under threatening skies at Tiger Stadium. Ford and Ripken is scheduled to follow here in the Oriole third inning. Dan delivers, and Bombry fouls it away. Strike one. Well, we've had word from the press box that the Tigers' 10 straight hits in the first inning ties the American League record set back in 1901 by the Boston Red Sox against the old Milwaukee team in that first year of the American League. There's a strike called on Bombry, 2 strikes. The Major League record is 12 consecutive hits, shared by the St. Louis Cardinals and the Brooklyn Dodgers. The Cardinals in 1920, the Dodgers in 1930. Strike 2 pitch to Bombry, swung on a ground ball to Whitaker again. He's got it, the Pep Leach, he got him out. 1 up and 1 away. Bombry goes down the same way they got him in the first. Let's pause here briefly for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
And you're listening to Tiger Baseball on Radio 76, the great voice of the Great Lakes, WJR Detroit. Dan Ford fly to center the first trip. There's another fly ball to center, and here comes Lemon. He's got it. So the Orioles have repeated their first inning so far. Bumbry bouncing to second, and Ford flying to center. Here comes Ripken. Let's see if the carbon paper keeps on working. He struck out in the first inning. Tigers lead at 13-1. Ripken at the plate now. Petry has walked one and struck out one. Outfield will be deep and straight away on Cal Ripken Jr. Here's the pitch by Dan, and there's a tapper hit toward third. Kronchicki charges, can't handle it. He tried to glove it and couldn't get it. It will be scored as a single. He was charging, and he met the ball about halfway between the plate and third. Probably didn't have a chance anyway.
American League, Boston versus Milwaukee, June 2, 1901.
Here's Eddie Murray, who singled and scored the Baltimore run in the second. He took second on the wild pitch, went to third on the bounce out by Lowenstein, and scored on Singleton's ground out.
4 times.
Tigers lead it 13-1. Here's the set, the pitch. Murray fouls it away. That'll be in the seats over back of the Tiger dugout.
June 23, 1930.
Crowd keeps on coming in. We'll have a good attendance here. A lot of folks for these Tri-Nighters come in the middle of the first game, have their evening meal with us, and enjoy baseball. There's a breaking ball low, 1-1. 13 runs and 13 hits for the Tigers, 1 run and 3 hits for the Orioles. The Orioles have made 2 errors. The Tigers have not made any. It's the first of a doubleheader here at the corner of Michigan and Trumbull tonight. Fastball swing and a miss by Murray. Fired that one past him toward the outside. 1-2 on Eddie. Eddie talking on their pregame show about his family. 12 youngsters. The boys and the girls both played baseball. Here's the 1-2 pitch to him now. And he takes the ball low. That one hit in front of the plate. Ripken on with 2 down in the third inning for the Birds. 2-2 the count on Eddie Murray. What a 1-2 punch this is in the middle part of the batting order for Joe Altobelli. Ripken followed by Murray. Now Petry to the set position, holds it, he pitches, and Murray fouls it away over on the third base side. Let's send a special hello to Mr. Grabowski in the Oakwood Hospital. Longtime Tiger supporter. That breeze is blowing out toward left now. Here's the 2-2 pitch again to Eddie Murray. And he takes a breaking ball low. Full count on him. Walkenfuss doing the catching. Parrish started. We told you he was a little bit under the weather. He batted 1 time, and then after the Tigers got a large lead, Sparky Anderson removed him in favor of Walkenfuss. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Murray on the way. He swings at a ground ball off of the Peaches, picked up by Kronchicki, but no play, and Murray has a single. Don't know exactly where that hit Petry, maybe on the foot. He's waving Walkenfuss back. He's mad now because he didn't get that ball. That's right. He's mad. He's not hurt. His feelings are hurt more than anything else. He's just really kicking around there. He thought he should have had that ball.
It'll be scored as a hit for Murray. That's his second hit, 2 for 2 for Eddie. And it'll bring up John Lowenstein, the veteran outfielder. Trammell coming in and trying to settle down his pitcher Petry a little bit. Lowenstein's been on the big league scene since 1970. Broke in with Cleveland that year. Left-hand batter waiting, and the pitch is high to him, ball one. University of California at Riverside, his school. He majored in anthropology. The 1-0 pitch to John. He takes, it's high and wide to 2-0 on Lowenstein. Petry ready again, and he sets and deals. It is a strike on the inside corner. He backed away from that one, but it nipped the corner on him.
John just let the bat slip out of his hands in disbelief.
And he gave Mr. Shulock the old family look on that one. Here's the 2-1 pitch coming now to John Lowenstein. Here it comes. He takes. It's a strike. That's 2-2. Here's a fellow who seems to get better each year, rather than the other way around, which is the norm for baseball players. Here's, at least at his age, here's a 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Fastball fooled him, and the side retired. No runs in 2 hits. Tigers batting in the third, and they lead 13-1.
For all the earliest news in town, the newspaper you want is the Detroit Free You-Know-What.
What about all the latest news?
What?
The news that's later than the Detroit Free You-Know-What news.
Oh, well, that would be the Detroit News.
What?
The Detroit News.
Speak up.
The Detroit News. See, the Detroit Free You-Know-What has early news because they have to start putting the paper to bed early, around 7 p.m.
But the Detroit News.
Oh, they get to stay up all the way to midnight before they got to go Betty by.
So the Detroit News gives you the late news that happens after the Detroit Free You-Know-What goes to bed.
Well, yes, but what happens after 7 p.m. anyway?
What happens after 7 p.m.?
Oh, isn't everybody asleep or drinking cocoa?
What about all the news from the West?
Well, okay.
And all those late sports scores?
Listen, Mr. Smarty Pants, how did you get in here past the guard anyway?
Well, it's past 7 p.m.
So?
So he was asleep, too.
The Detroit News. It's a better paper.
At Tri-State Furniture, you can have it all. Quality. We carry the finest names in furniture. Bassett, Kraler, Broyhill, and Sealy Bedding. Convenience, we have 18 stores to serve you. That makes us the largest furniture chain in Michigan. Fast delivery immediately, the same day or the next day. Low prices, Tri-State guarantees that if within 7 days you can find the same merchandise at a lower price at any other store in Michigan, we will refund the difference plus 10% of that difference. At Tri-State Furniture, you can have it all.
Gibson will lead off for Detroit. We've got a couple of changes now. Baltimore has put Mike Young in left field. Shelby is now in center field. We've got a new right fielder, haven't we?
That's right. Tito Landrum is out in right field.
Tito Landrum, the gentleman obtained from the Cardinals, is in right. So there's a brand new outfield for the Birds now. And here's Gibson at the plate with a .220 batting average, and he takes all that up from Palmer, ball one. Gibson tripled in the first inning, first time up, and then he struck out the second time up in that inning. Palmer delivers, and Kirk takes another strike. Tall right-hander Jim Palmer looking in to get his sign from Joe Nolan. Nobody on, nobody out in the first inning. Cut and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count on him.
Oh, the new outfield is Young in left, Shelby in center, Landrum is in right for Baltimore. 13-1, the Tigers in the lead over their visitors from Baltimore. Swing and a foul upstairs, 1-2 on Gibson. Cunningham Restaurant in Mackinac City brought a large group down to witness the Twilight with us tonight. Here's a fastball outside. 2-2, the count on Gibson.
The outfield will hit straight up. Shelby will hit.
A little bit of a breeze blowing out toward the outfield now. 2-2 count on Gibson. Palmer delivers. Here's a swing and a miss. He got him on a change. Slow curve fooled him. The second time Gibson's gone out on strike. That's the second strikeout for Palmer. And here comes Rick Leach. He'll be batting for the first time after subbing for Enos Cabell. Rick batting .241, 1 home run and 21 RBIs. There's a strike call, the slow curve over on Rick. 13-1, Detroit leads Baltimore in the third inning at Tiger Stadium, the first of a twilight doubleheader. Fastball's over but low. It's a 1-1 count on him. Wind up by Jim. He pitches, and Rick takes that slow ball. It's slow, and slower now. 1-2, the count on him. He steps away from the plate. 1 out, nobody on. The Tigers are batting in the third. They've got Gulliver very wide of the bag at third for Baltimore. Now Leach steps out again. Palmer not quite ready. They can't get a tune here with each other. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Swung on, fly ball to right. It'll be foul down toward the bullpen. In that Philadelphia game, Twilight at Philly, the Phils lead Chicago 5-3. They're in the fifth inning. Here's the pitch to Leach, and it's a wide one, 2-2. One afternoon game in the majors in the National League. Pittsburgh beat the Mets 4-0. No American League action yet. The Minnesota White Sox game in Chicago rained out tonight. There's a line shot foul on the changeup again down in the bullpen. Remember, Palmer's had a lot of ailments over the years, and early, very early in his career, he had a lot of back trouble. And Dr. Russell Wright was a team physician here in Detroit at that time, and he put a lift in Jim's shoe and corrected that, and he came back after that. There's a foul out of play, back on the screen. Palmer had been sent down to the minors for almost a whole year, and Dr. Wright found out that the problem was that one leg was longer than the other one, and the lift cured that problem. Now the 2-2 pitch to Leach. He swings, and there's a base hit to left. The line shot to left field off the bat of Rick Leach. A man on and the man out. Here comes Chet Lemon. Chester has tripled and flied to left. He did both of those things in the opening inning. He made the final out in that 11-run first inning for the Tigers. Now he's up with a man on and the man out in the third. Time called at the plate. Lemon steps away for a moment. Palmer to the set position, delivers. Watch out, that one almost hit him. Now that was so slow he wouldn't mind being hit by that one. The Just the reflex action got him out of the way. There's a little tapper in front of the plate, picked up by Nolan. He'll go to first to Murray with it, and Lemon is out, and Leach takes second. Wilson will be the batter. Glenn had a single in the first inning. He's had 1 for 2. We're talking about Palmer winning 20 games in 8 different seasons. Palmer and Lefty Grove did that. Johnson did it 12 times, and Cy Young was a 20-game winner 16 seasons. Warren Spahn and Mathewson 13 times apiece to reach the 20 victory mark. Wilson takes the ball outside. To 1, the Tigers in the lead against the Orioles in the 3rd inning. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled away. 1-1 the count on Wilson. That Philly-Chicago game is now 6-3. They've completed 5 at Philadelphia Twilight game. Leach down the line from second base. Palmer delivers. Fastball outside to Wilson. 2-1 on Glenn. Dennis Martinez started and was credited with 1/3 of an inning. Charged with 7 runs and 6 hits. That's when Palmer took over. He's worked the rest of the time. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swung on a ground ball to Ripken near the bag in second. It goes right through his legs and the run will score. Here comes Leach across the plate. Ripken went a little bit to the glove side, had a routine play, and the ball went right through his leg. That puts Wilson at first base. Leach was able to score. And the Tigers now lead it 14-1. Here's Clinching with 2 for 2 singles each time against his old teammates. Wayne's brought that average up to 273. And he cuts and misses on a Palmer breaking ball. Outfield plays him to left. There's a cut and a miss on a high, hard one. 2 strikes on Wayne Clinching.
Not only do they play him to left, but very shallow. Look how shallow Shelby is in center.
Yeah, he's way in. Strike 2 delivery is a strike call. The big floater got over. He's out on strike. The Tigers get 1. At the end of 3, Detroit 14, Baltimore 1.
My Olympic wrestlers 3 things: position, pressure, and concentration.
Budweiser, proud sponsor of the 1984 U.S. Olympic team, salutes America's Olympic coaches, the team behind the team.
I tell them to get position, you've got to set your stance, concentrate on your opponent's motion, it's got some pressure. Then, when you know the time is right, you attack. Because at this level, everyone knows his stuff. So to win, you got to get there first.
The Olympics take teamwork, and Budweiser is proud to be part of that team.
But for you, for all you do, there can't be really coming through.
Believe me, by the time my guys reach L.A., they'll be ready.
Why wait for another special occasion? Call 689-4890.
Baltimore batting now in the fourth inning. Tigers lead them 14-1. Let's tune in on Paul Carey.
All right, Ernie, Ken Singleton will lead it off. He drove in the Baltimore run with a bounce out. And there's a grounder to the right side. Leach comes wide to his right, has it, flips to Petry, and they get him. One pitch, one away in the Baltimore fourth inning. Well, the biggest threat right now, it would seem, would be from the weather. It has become increasingly dark overhead. Of course, it's bound to as we lose the sunshine here in the Detroit area. We haven't seen the sun since early today because of the precipitation, the growing clouds that came in. Rain held off the start of this game for an official 22 minutes, but it's not been interrupted. Here's Joe Nolan. It's low for ball one on Nolan. Veteran left-hand hitting catcher singled off the base of the wall in right field in the second inning. Petry ready to work. The pitch to Nolan. He takes low again, 2-0. Dan given a very big lead. 11 runs in the very first inning. 2-0 pitch to Nolan. On the corner for a strike. Got it right on the inside corner to Joe. Dan said he learned a lesson with a big lead over in Milwaukee. You may recall that game. Tigers had jumped out to a 5-0 lead early. And he had a no-hitter going for 4 innings. There's a foul back up to the press box. By the bottom of the fifth inning, the Tigers had given Petry a 5-0 lead, and that's when Ted Simmons and Mark Brohart hit back-to-back home runs off Petry, and he said, I learned a lesson from it. You've still got to pitch your ball game regardless of the score. This stuff about just rearing back and getting it over, he now doesn't believe in. So he's trying to pitch his game here tonight. He struck him out. Nolan took a look at a hard one on the outside corner. 3 strikeouts for Petry. And that'll bring up Gulliver. Longtime Tiger farmhand, Glenn Gulliver. A man from Allen Park, left-hand hitting third baseman. Good season down at Rochester. He swings. There's a drive to deep right center field. Going back is Lemon. He's there now. He's got it. And the side is out in order. After 3.5 innings, Tigers 14, Baltimore 1. Lou Whitaker leads off the fourth inning for Detroit, and the first slow one is in from Palmer for a called strike on Lou. Gives him all that motion, that big leg kick of his, and then lobs it in. Now the delivery, there's another slow one hit on the ground to second base. Dower has a little trouble with it, but gloves it, throws him out at first base. 1 out in the Tiger fourth inning. Got a couple of defensive changes again for the Orioles behind the plate. John Stefero now replaces Joe Nolan. And Todd Cruz is in the game playing third base. He replaces Glenn Gulliver. So Joe Altobelli has made 5 switches defensively, plus a switch on the mound already in this game. 1 out, nobody on here in the Tiger fourth inning. And here's Alan Trammell, who has 3 singles and 3 trips. He checks his swing. It's a little high from Palmer for ball 1. Now they say the first base umpire, Rick Reed, said he went too far. Stefero appealing to the open side. So it's strike 1 on Allen. There's a high fly ball. Left field deep, but not deep enough, I don't believe. Young at the wall makes the catch. Well, he was right there on the edge of the track anyway. Towering fly ball by Trammell. Carrying deep to left, and they finally get him out. 2 out in the Tiger fourth inning. Here's Herndon. Larry has walked, hit a 2-run homer, and bounced into a force out, and that ground out got in another Tiger run, so he has 3 RBIs. Every Tiger starter with a run batted in, with the exception of Krenchicki, who has 2 hits. There's a slow curve in for a strike. Now Palmer ready. Pitches. Hard one is high. 1-1 on Herndon. And I'd like to pass along our best wishes to a great Tiger fan over at Olivet Nazarene College, Wayne Hall. Stick with us, Wayne. There's a pitch outside for a ball. A group down from Mackinac City, headed by Mary Lee Winters. A group of 17 made the long trip down from the Straits to see the Tigers tonight. There's a line drive to center field, a base hit for Herndon. Larry has his second hit, and that's the 15th of the night for the Tigers. It comes with 2 out here in the 4th inning. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network. And this is WJR Detroit, the flagship station for Tiger Baseball. WJR offers complete sports coverage at 76 AM. John Walkenfuss batting. He takes a called strike from Palmer. Fuss came in when Lance Parrish's turn was up again in the 1st inning, and he pinch hit for him, walked, struck out the next time up. Slow curve, dips a little bit low. 1-1 on Fuss. $14-1. The Tigers lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Threat of rain still persists. Palmer's pitch. There's a slider that got in for a strike. 1-2 on Fuss. Here's a Tiger birthday salute on her 87th birthday to a great Tiger fan on the east side of Detroit, Rose Almanchek. Happy birthday to Rose. Fastball in the corner. Fuss is out looking. Another strikeout for Palmer. And the Tigers, for the first time in this game, do not score. After 4 innings, it's Detroit 14, Baltimore 1. We have some more changes for the Tigers. Marty Castillo's gone in to play third. Wayne Krenchicki moves to second, replacing Lou Whitaker. And Lynn Jones is now in left field, taking over for Larry Herndon. Top of the 5th inning here at Tiger Stadium. 14-1, the Tigers have the lead. Somebody had left a batting helmet on the outfield out there. And just before the inning was begin, they decided to pick it up. It's a Tiger batting helmet, though, I think, even though Jimmy Williams is going to throw it in the Baltimore dugout. Here's the pitch to Dower, and he fouls it back. Strike 1 on Rich. Petry has allowed 4 hits. They've all been singles. He's walked 1 and struck out 3. They kick the pitch by Petry. There's a ground ball past the mound to Krenchicki at second. They toss to Leach. 1 away in the 5th inning. That'll bring up John Shelby, a good-looking outfielder for the Orioles. Shelby, a switch hitter, bats left-handed against Petry. He's up for the first time in the ballgame, hitting .259. 5 home runs, 25 runs batted in. He cuts and pops one down the left field line. That's a tough chance. In comes Lynn Jones. He makes the catch. Jones gathers in the pop fly from Shelby. 2 out in the 5th inning. And the batter will be Tito Landrum. Tito inserted in the lineup to play in right field for Dan Ford in the 3rd inning. Takes a called strike. Originally in the Cardinal organization, Landrum is looking at another called strike. 2 quick ones on him. Landrum hitting .364 in limited action for the Orioles. 1 home run, a couple of RBIs. Now the kick, the pitch by Petry, tapped off the end of the bat. Petry comes off the mound toward first, fields it, tags the runner. And that's all for the Orioles, and the money's in the bank. After 4.5 innings, Tigers 14, Baltimore 1. Another change for the Orioles in the field. Bob Bonner is now playing second base, replacing Rich Dower. Here's Kirk Gibson leading off the Tiger fifth inning. 14-1, the Tigers lead. They got 11 runs in the first inning. Jim Palmer, who relieved in the first inning, came on for Dennis Martinez, still in there. The pitch to Gibson is a high outside fastball. Gibson has tripled in a run in the first inning. Since then, he has struck out twice against Palmer. The windup by Big Jim. He delivers on the corner for a strike, 1-1. Gibson, Leach, and Lemon, the three due up here in the Tiger fifth inning. Fouled back off the glass just in front of the Baltimore radio booth. Shaking up Tom Marr and John Miller a little bit over there. Of course, that first inning shook him up a little bit too, I think. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. So that's the third straight time Palmer's been able to strike out Gibson. The batter now will be Leach, who has batted once and singled. Ernie and I'd like to pass along a special wishes to a great Tiger fan out at Harper Hospital. Just had surgery, recovering there this week. Tim O'Connell, our best wishes from the Tigers on behalf of Jim Schmeichel and his wife, Pat. Jim, our fearless clubhouse manager, director here at Tiger Stadium. High fly ball lifted to left center field over Shelby and Young. The center field, nope, the left fielder Young is going to make the catch just on the edge of the track. 2 out in the fifth inning. The ball that either one of them could catch, could handle. Generally a ball hit there is given to the center fielder to gather in, but this time he gave way to Young. Here's Lemon. Chet tripled in a run in the Tiger first inning. Since then he's hit a pop fly to left and bounced out to the catcher. A little dribbler in front of the plate. The inside curve from Palmer. Jim kicks and delivers. There's a high fly ball hit to medium depth right center field. Center fielder Shelby over. He's got it. And the Tigers are out quickly in the fifth inning after 5. Tigers 14, Orioles 1. Herbie Redmond doffing his cap to the crowd here at Tiger Stadium after they finish grooming the infield. We finished 5 innings. Tigers with 11 runs in the first inning. Lead 14-1, and here comes the rain. It looked like it's going to be coming down for a long time. Time called by the umpires, and they're going to bring the tarp out. Well, we'd heard reports that the rain was going to come in again about 7 o'clock. It didn't. This game is right now an official ball game. They've completed 5 innings here at Tiger Stadium. The Orioles about to come to bat against Dan Petry in the 6th inning, when the rains came in again. Rain hit this stadium shortly before 5 o'clock, and it came down hard for about 20 minutes worth before it let up, and it caused a delay in the start of the contest officially for 22 minutes. But now it has come in again here with a clock reading, I guess 7:42 when the announcement first was, or when the signal was first given. But this is an official ball game right now. Of course, the Tigers and Orioles want to finish this one and play another one tonight. They've got single game scheduled tomorrow night and Thursday night to complete this 4-game series. We're playing a makeup game in a sense right now, making up this twilight doubleheader from the Orioles' first trip in here to Detroit. Now the grounds crew has unrolled or taken the tarp off the roller. They've got unfolded now and get it over the diamond. They quickly first put on those separate pieces of tarp over home plate and on the mound. And as usual, the grounds crew under Frank Fennick does a great job here at Tiger Stadium. They may be just about the quickest in the league in covering the playing surface. While we wait for this rain, see how long it goes. We've got some lightning overhead too. Let's check the scores. Pretty much up to date on those. This afternoon in the National League, the Pirates shut out the Mets 4-0 on a 2-hitter by McWilliams. His 15th win against 6 defeats this year. Lynch started for New York and Head took his 10th loss. He's 10-10. Dave Parker homered in the game for Pittsburgh, his 12th of the year. They had only 3,112 at Shea Stadium in New York today. Can you believe that? A twilight game at Philadelphia. The Phillies hosting the Chicago Cubs. And they've completed 7.5 innings now. And it's Philadelphia 6, the Cubs 5 in a tight one. For the Phils, Gross started, followed by Hernandez in the 5th and Anderson in the 8th inning. For the Cubs, it was Trout the starter. Patterson came on in the 2nd. Johnson in the 5th. Forty in the 7th inning. Now, Bill Buckner has hit his 16th home run for Chicago. And Gary Woods hit a 2-run homer, his 3rd of the year for the Cubs. But they trail 6-5 in the bottom of the 8th inning at Philadelphia. Going into the action, the Phils had a 2-game lead over Montreal. And the Pirates picking up a half game with their afternoon win. At Montreal, the Cardinals didn't score in the first inning. That one is underway with Bob Forsch going for St. Louis against Bill Gullickson of Montreal. Cincinnati is at Atlanta. It's Frank Pastore pitching for the Reds and Phil Niekro for Atlanta. The game just beginning. And later on the coast, Houston is at Los Angeles, and the Padres play at San Francisco. In the American League, got 3 games just getting underway now. The Yankees are playing at Boston. John Montefusco pitching for New York in that one against Bruce Hurst. Seattle didn't score in the first inning at Toronto. The Jays are batting. It's Mike Moore for Seattle and Dave Steve pitching for the Blue Jays. Milwaukee at Cleveland. Mike Caldwell on the mound for the Brewers, and Rick Sutcliffe is the Cleveland starter. The Minnesota-Chicago game was postponed because of this rain, perhaps the same rain that's falling here at Tiger Stadium right now. And they're going to make up that game at Comiskey Park, hopefully with a twilight doubleheader tomorrow. California at Kansas City coming up a bit later, as is the Oakland at Texas ball game. We're getting rain here at Tiger Stadium right now that has suspended play here after 5 completed innings in the opener of a twilight doubleheader. Now, in case you tuned in late and wondered how the heck the Tigers scored 11 runs in the first inning, let's go over that. Dennis Martinez was the Orioles starter. He got Lou Whitaker to bounce out unassisted to first man up, and then everything fell apart. The Tigers sent 12 men to the plate after the bounce out by Whitaker without the Orioles getting an out, without anybody being retired. Alan Trammell followed Whitaker's bounce out with a single to center. He promptly stole second and stole third. Then Larry Herndon was walked. And as Herndon was taking off to steal second base, a bad throw by the starting catcher Joe Nolan skipped on into center field. Trammell came in to score the inning's first run, and Herndon took third. He scored on a single to center by Lance Parrish. Then Lance raced in from first base on a triple to left center by Kirk Gibson. Gibson then scored on a single to center by Enos Cabell through a drawn-in infield. Chet Lemon tripled to deep center field off the flagpole to score Cabell all the way from first base. Then Glenn Wilson wrapped a single through the drawn-in infield to score Lemon from third. That was all for Martinez. He had given up 6 hits. And he left a man on. Well, he promptly scored when Jim Palmer, in relief, gave up a pop single to Wayne Krenchicki, and Lou Whitaker came up and hit a 3-run homer into the seats in right field, Lou's 12th of the year. Alan Trammell then picked up his second hit of the inning, a loop single to left field, and Larry Herndon followed with his 19th home run of the year, a 2-run homer. Well, the inning continued as John Walkenfuss batted for Lance Parrish. He walked. Gibson then struck out for out number 2. Enos Cabell beat out an infield hit. 2 on. before Chet Lemon ended the inning with a pop fly to left field. 16 men went to the plate in the first inning for the Tigers. They got 11 runs, all of them earned on 11 hits. There were 2 errors, but because of the way the Tigers kept on hitting, those runs were all earned, and 2 men were left on base. The Tigers added 2 runs in the second inning. With 1 out, Krenchicki got his second straight hit, an infield hit, and then Whitaker walked. Alan Trammell's single scored Krenchicki, with Whitaker moving to third, and he scored when Larry Herndon bounced into a force out at second. Rich Dower had the ball slip out of his hands trying to relay to first to complete the double play, and the Tigers had a 13-1 lead at that point. They added 1 more run in the third inning. With 1 out, Rick Leach singled to left field, moved to second on a bounce out by Lemon. And then Glenn Wilson hit a ball right at shortstop Cal Ripken. He brought the glove up too quickly, went underneath the glove between the legs for an error, and Leach was able to score from second base to make it 14-1, and that's where we stand right now. The only Orioles run came in the second inning. Eddie Murray led off with a single, took second on a wild pitch, third on a bounce out, and scored on a ground out by Ken Singleton. Petry allowing 2 hits in that second inning, both singles. And in the third inning, he gave up a couple of infield hits with 2 out, but then struck out Lowenstein to end the inning. And since then has set down the side in order in the 4th and 5th innings, and was about to work on the Orioles here in the 6th inning when the rain began to come down. It has abated somewhat, but it is still coming down rather steadily at Tiger Stadium at the moment. Now the crowd beginning to cheer because they don't see the driving rain coming down, but if you look at the puddles on the tarp that's covering the playing surface, you can see the steady precipitation out here. The Tigers win the opener of this twilight doubleheader, a 5-inning ball game. They win it 14-1. And the second game of the scheduled doubleheader tonight will be made up as part of a twilight doubleheader tomorrow. And that will begin at 5:30 at Tiger Stadium, with our broadcast coverage beginning at 5:15 tomorrow. So the Tigers and Orioles play one official game tonight, albeit shortened by the heavy rains here at Tiger Stadium. The umpires had delayed the start of the game for 22 minutes. And then after 5 innings had been completed, the Orioles were coming to bat in the 6th. The rains came in again, and the umpires waited an hour and 33 minutes before determining that the field was unplayable here at Tiger Stadium. So the Tigers win the opener with a big first inning, scoring 11 times in the first inning off the starter Dennis Martinez and his successor Jim Palmer. The Tigers sent 16 men to the plate, and during one span, 12 batters went to the plate without being retired. And the Tigers giving Dan Petry that big 11-run lead in the first inning. So Petry allowed just 1 run in the second inning. The Tigers added 2 runs in the second and an unearned run in the third inning. Palmer seemed to settle things down a little bit in the 4th and 5th innings, and the Orioles weren't doing much with Petry, who had set them down in order in the 4th and 5th innings. And after the 5th inning had been completed, the Orioles at bat in the 6th, just before a pitch was thrown, the rain came in. And after a wait of an hour and 33 minutes, the game has been called at the end of 5 innings. The totals in the game for Detroit: 14 runs, 15 hits, no errors. For Baltimore, 1 run, 4 hits, and 3 errors. Petry gets the victory, his 18th against 9 defeats. Dennis Martinez started, did not survive that wild first inning, and he suffered his 15th defeat. He's won 7 times. The game, what there was of it played, took 1 hour and 51 minutes.